Hello, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. Let's continue on with what we're doing with our car loans. And let's take a look at the section called Looking at Loans. Okay, so you've decided on which kind of car you're going to buy and how much you have to spend. Now you need to figure out how you're going to pay for it. Well, if you can't pay in cash, you're going to have to get a loan. And when you get a car loan, it's called a secured loan. That means it's backed by some kind of collateral. Okay, and collateral is a guarantee of repayment of a loan. And the collateral for a car loan is the car itself. Another example of collateral is you boys in PE with Mr. Menaris. If you forget your PE clothes, he'll give you loaners, but he just doesn't hand them out to you. He requires you to give you a backpack or something else of value, and that's the collateral that he wants to make sure you give him back his loaner PE clothes. So that's what collateral is about. An unsecured loan is something like a credit card. Credit cards are unsecured. There's nothing put up, but it's riskier for the company. So that's why credit card loans have a higher interest rate than car loans, because an unsecured loan is going to have a higher interest rate because there's no collateral backing it up. Now, when you do have collateral, the lending company puts a lien on your property. And all a lien is they have the right to take or sell your property, which in this case is your car. In other words, they have the right to repossess your car. So that's what a lien is about. Now, when you get a loan, what you want to consider is how much is that loan going to cost you? In other words, how much interest are you going to pay? Well, what are the factors on interest? Well, the one big factor is the interest rate, right? And that's what we call the APR. Remember that? Annual percentage rate, expressed as a percentage. So obviously, the higher the interest rate, the higher the loan's going to be. Right now is a great time to get a loan because interest rates are very low because of the global pandemic and the recession that we're having right now, that the Federal Reserve has lowered the interest rates to the lowest they've ever been. So that will trickle down to the consumer. The other factor on the cost of your loan is how long your loan is. Okay, so the longer you stretch out your loan, it's going to be nice because your payments will be smaller. But what's going to happen? It's going to cost you more in the long run. Okay, it's because if you make smaller payments, you're going to have a longer length of loan, so you're going to be owing the money for a longer amount of time, so you're going to end up paying more in interest. And that's what these tables are about here. They're looking at how much it's going to cost you for different situations, right? APR is going to be the same. It's the length of contract or how long the loan is, it's going to change. And they've set up what the monthly payment is for each one. So what your job is to figure out the total price of the car, which is pretty easy. Just multiply how many payments you make times the monthly payment, and that'd be your total price. And the total finance charge is just another word for interest. Okay, so I've made a Google Doc for you if you like using Google Docs to figure that out rather than using their pop-up calculator. And here's how you figure out your total price. It's just equal the number of months times the payment, and you'll see that the total price of the car is $22,104. So how much did you pay in finance charge? Well, you borrowed $20,000, but you paid back $22,104. So it would be this price minus, I don't have a link to 20,000, so I'll just type in 20,000, and there it is. I mean, it's easy to do in your head, but there you go, $2,104. That's how much you paid in interest on a 2-year loan. And then you can go through the rest of them and figure out how much the total finance charge, and you'll find out the longer the loan, the more the finance charge is going to be. Oh, and by the way, for you guys who've remember from spreadsheets, this says 24 months. This is custom number formatting. The actual number there is in 24, and it's set up when you type in a number to add the word months on it to make it more descriptive. So if you remember that, that's a formatting thing. So I formatted it to make it look like that. All right. Now, we've talked about down payment. Well, then after that, you have these two questions to answer. So answer those questions after filling in the numbers in these tables, and you can bring the numbers back over from the spreadsheet, or you can use, your own calculator, this pop-up calculator, however you want to figure these out. And when you hit submit, it will check the answer. You can check your answers. And then you answer these two questions and go there. Now, they have another table. A way to save money is to put a down payment down. You might not be able to pay for the whole car, but if you can afford to put a little bit down, you don't have to borrow as much, right? The down payment is your first payment, and it comes before you take out your loan. So in this example, it's a $20,000 car. You make a $2,000 payment right up front. You write that check right there at the dealer before you take the car off the lot. Now you borrow $18,000, so you don't have to borrow as much. So now they have another table where you go through same scenarios, 9.75%, different lengths of loan. Your monthly payments are going to be a little bit lower because you're not borrowing as much. And then you'll see the total price of the car. You'll get that comparison. So if we go back to the spreadsheet, I've set that up here. So the monthly payment, total price of the car is going to be the same thing. You're going to go equals the number of months that you're going to pay times the monthly payment. So you can see it's $19,896. The total finance charge is going to be equals this amount, but not minus 20,000 because you only borrowed 18,000 this time. So 18,000. So your finance charge is less. Look, it's about $300 less. And then the total price, including the down payment, would be the total price of the car loan plus your down payment. So it's going to equal this amount plus 2,000. And so 21,896. Okay, so you can see it's a little bit less than it was if you borrowed the entire amount. So putting down a down payment will save you money in the long run. Oops, I need to change this to 2,000. It'll be changed to 2,000 on yours, not 200. All right, and then you do it again you can fill down if you want to go quicker, and you can see how it compares to different lengths of loans and what it'll cost you. And then you have some follow-up questions on that, about how much money you would save. And then don't forget the discussion board. People haven't been doing the discussion board like they should be, so make sure you're writing on the discussion board. All right, so that's it for the section on looking at loans.